Hey, Peter,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question about jazz?
Yes.
Can I ask you 7 questions about jazz?
Well, that would be 8 total, so no.
Okay. I'm Adam Manis,
And I'm Peter Martin.
and you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
Coming at you today, we're sponsored by Open Studio, because we're at Open Studio.
We actually have a new sponsor as well. But I'll let you tell them about the current sponsor.
Well, the current sponsor is Open Studio, openstudiojazz.com. Check it out. We have a ton of courses, a lot of piano courses by Peter, Jeffrey Keyser, myself. We got courses by bassist Chris McBride, Ruben Rogers, who might swing by later.
Right?
A bunch of folks. Go check it out. openstudiojazz.com.
New stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And as of today, you give free Skype lessons to all members. Is
I
that
do
true?
not give free Skype lessons.
But you've been known to if
I
you
do
know
like
if some
to
folks need a little
connect.
bit of help.
Yeah.
I heard you connecting with one of our members today. That was nice.
That was really great, actually.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our other sponsor, we like to have sponsors. Well, just things that we like to drink that the company's never heard of us, and we purchase them at full retail price. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
what you call a sponsorship?
No.
Well,
No.
big shout out to Spindrift. If you want to sponsor us, I'm loving this stuff, man. Are you loving it?
Hashtag not keto.
Oh, that's right. No, you're not loving it 'cause it's not keto.
I mean, I am loving it, but I'm loving it too much because of all the sugar.
Because it's 17 calories. That's pushing you over the edge, buddy.
It's hard. man.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is all natural. No natural flavors. I'm on a crusade against natural flavors. Do you know
Yeah,
about this?
so no, I don't know. So what is it about natural flavors?
Well-
it seems so innocent. Natural.
I know.
They're natural.
That's why I'm so mad about it, because all these years, if I saw the ingredient natural flavor, I thought, wow, that's a wonderful thing. It's just some, but I did always think it was odd that it would. Why wouldn't you just list what that natural flavor is?
Right.
Like at the back of a great jazz album, trumpet, Freddie Hubbard,
Right.
saxophone, Joe Henderson, piano, great guy. No,
Like, why don't you just say what it is? Well, I think, isn't it because a lot of it is just like, it's essentially soybean byproduct or whatever.
it can be anything.
It could be anything.
It only has to start. It's a totally unregulated term. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, well, that's why they use it all
just
the
has
time.
to have some little bit of germ of possibly something in nature, which is anything. But then it can be chemicals can be added. It can be modified in a laboratory. It can have a bunch of different ingredients in it. It's really crazy.
All right.
So when you see natural flavors, run.
And if you have a counter argument to this, send it to Peter,
Hey, my YouTube guy told me that.
your YouTube guy.
You don't have a judgy food YouTube guy?
I have dozens of them.
Oh, yeah, but they're all keto
they're all
guys.
keto guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Well, in the plant-based world, we have our own people.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're asking questions of ourselves, of our listeners.
Did we forget that quickly?
Oh my
this
gosh.
is a big one. The 7 most asked questions about jazz. This is a highly subjective list. This is not necessarily scientifically studied. We didn't go on Google and find out the most searched for things. This is just
Completely anecdotal.
totally anecdotal,
From our
kind
own
of comical,
experiences,
and
yeah.
not even entirely accurate. As
A lot of airport conversations on this list for sure. Yeah.
We thought we'd have a little fun today.
Yeah. All right. So number 1 is a very common one that I think I'll be asked until the day I die, which is, are you really just making it all up?
Right.
Which I always say, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm just making it all up.
And the one that always goes along with this, is it okay to add or are we
No,
too
go,
late?
go.
Yeah. And that really is, that's probably been asked more than any. That's
For
just
sure.
in terms of volume. But there's also how long have you guys been playing together? Which is often a part of, are you really making it up?
Yeah.
But there's always a kind of funny little smirk with that, because it's like, how long have you guys playing? Because it sounds like you're just making it up, and you've never played together before.
Well, and they might ask that of several, at every concert they go to, knowing that it's usually like, oh, this is like our second gig ever, or
Right,
we've never played in this combination before. That's often the case.
Yeah. I used to take it as a compliment, and then I realized it was an insult. So there you go. Okay, number 2. What is that, an oboe to a bassist?
Now, you can replace oboe with any classical instrument and
Yeah.
bass with any other instrument, but I do recall several occasions where, especially when you used to travel with the bass, like there's doesn't have much in,
No.
but they look so funny in an airport. It looks
Yeah.
like that has no place being on an airplane.
What do you have, a dead body in there?
Exactly. What do you have, a dead
We could
body?
have Christian McBride say the whole thing. Oh no, another common one that you get for a bassist always get is, "Don't you wish you'd played the piccolo?"
Oh, that's a
That's
good
when
one.
people really think
Classic.
they know. There you go.
That's a good one. All right, number 3 is, Do you like Kenny G? To which the answer should always be, yeah, Kenny Garrett.
Love that dude.
Yeah. And then they get very confused because nobody knows who Kenny Garrett is besides huge jazz nerds like us.
And you know what I've noticed? Kenny G, it doesn't quite have the ring that it used to. I think I made a joke about Kenny G the other night on a gig.
Yeah.
And it might have been a little younger crowd, a little more trending millennial, which we love to see. There was a few snickers, but a lot of just like who you're talking about. Who's Kenny G?
You know, too.
Is that possible?
He's making, apparently, the rumor is he's making music with Kanye now.
Wow.
Like those two are teaming up.
Okay. Well, they deserve each other. No. That could be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny G is a talented guy.
I could go to like Nora Jones, maybe, you know? Because she's, I think a lot of people think of her as jazz, and she is, you know, steeped in it a little bit,
Yeah.
but her music certainly is not
But
really.
she's never had the reputation for.
She's on Blue Note, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sings the nearness of you.
Yeah. Okay, what's number 4?
Well, you wrote this one, so you got to deliver it.
Oh, you play jazz? What's happening, Hep Cat? You ever get that one?
Yeah,
you know, like,
put a beret on, as they say it.
or sometimes my classical
Jazz
music,
hands.
Jazz hands. My classical music friends will like put like they're smoking a like a joint
Oh,
up, like, oh, you're
not
playing
cool.
jazz. Oh, like, oh, we're gonna play some jazz. We're gonna get, you know, a little high, whatever.
Wow.
And I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, we are, as a matter of fact. No, I've never gotten that one, actually. That's not cool. No bueno to that one. From the classical musicians?
Yeah.
I should be like, oh, we're going to pop some Adderall before we go practice
Well,
for 8 hours?
It's like that same thing. It's like when you play with like a classical singer or whatever, and their version of jazz is just kind of bawdy. Yeah. Totally, you know
It's
what I
kind
mean?
of burlesque.
It's kind of burlesque. Like it's
Yeah.
all in the. They're just like, oh, if I just shake my shoulders, that's jazz, right?
Put like a boa, like a boa, feathered boa around my neck.
Totally.
Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, I was having a little with my own computer problems. It went to sleep for a second. I know you have your own computer problems.
Dude,
I do too.
I can't even handle it, right? Like I'm heading straight to the Apple Store after this. 'Cause
All
it's
right.
ridiculous.
Can you make a? Speaking of that, can you make a living at jazz?
No.
No.
Well, you weren't asking. You were,
No. Well, that's the next of our 7 most asked
yeah.
questions about jazz. Can you make a living doing this? And clearly the answer is yes. Adam Manis makes a living at jazz, and he's on the way to the Apple Store to buy a $3,500 laptop. So he's doing all right.
Or it's what's your day job? You know,
Right.
That's the other one. Is like,
Yeah.
what's
Oh,
your
what
day
do
job?
what do you do what do you do for a job?
So is this all you do? And they ask it like, I don't know, kind of hesitantly, like, is this all you do?
I know.
And I say, no, I direct them to openstudiojazz.com. Where, no, I'm just,
Yeah,
this is a
exactly.
shameless plug.
Okay, this is number 6 here?
Number 6
or
is
number 7?
no, this is number 6.
Number 6. Good.
Where they look at, when you say I'm a jazz musician, they look at you confused. They're like, don't you hate jazz? And that's when I usually say something like, oh, well, yeah, but I'm a jazz musician.
Yeah.
But because I'm a jazz
Is it a
musician.
rhetorical
Yeah,
question?
Just because it's hard and frustrating.
Yeah. Maybe they're projecting that they hate jazz.
That could be it too.
And I would refer people to our classic I Hate Jazz episodes.
Our classic I Hate Jazz episode is still getting commented on like a weekly, if not daily basis.
I know,
about
it's scary.
why. And now they're starting to turn on us.
Right.
You've seen the latest ones?
No.
Where they're like, well, we hate jazz because of you pompous a-holes. Yeah, like stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
General YouTube comments are a scary, scary
Okay, first of all, that couldn't be true that they hate jazz because to get to that video, they likely had to search they literally had to put the words into Google, I hate jazz.
Yes.
And then that came up. Of course, we were joking. They didn't realize that. Then they watch it. They're like, oh, this is why. So they're just going for self-affirmation.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias, exactly.
sure.
Okay.
All right, number 7.
I like number 7. So, how long have you been a barista? That's good.
That's good.
Now, this really could be applied to a multitude of really just sort of competitive job fields we were talking about.
Sure.
Right? Hasn't a barista become the kind of, like almost like you used to say, oh, I'm an actor in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Where are you waiting tables?
Exactly.
Where are you
Yeah,
waiter?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because that's your job as you
Yeah.
pursue your dream.
Totally.
And I actually think this, it's a joke, but I think that this is a great thing because we know some really good jazz musicians that are baristas as well, especially younger ones, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure, yeah.
And it is kind of a nice job that you could conceivably do during the day.
Get your evenings free.
Your evenings
for
are free
all
for
the jazz
gigs.
you want to play. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There's no shame in working in the service industry.
Not at all.
You know, to get your art going.
No.
That's a time-honored tradition.
They
for
have
sure.
some rock star baristas now. There's a guy from Japan, he has a great place up in Chicago and opening one in New York. Sawada Coffee, big shout out to them. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but he's like a jet-setting barista, man. He goes to like Ibiza to do
He's an
espresso
Ibiza
pull.
barista?
Well, yeah, I think I just said it because it rhymed. Yeah, Ibiza barista, exactly. All right. Well, I think we nailed it, as we always do. 7 most asked questions about jazz. Maybe we can invite. I think people are safe on this because it's not an I hate jazz kind of crowd today.
Yeah, no.
So I think we're safe to say
This is
down in
inside
the
baseball.
YouTube comments or wherever you are consuming this podcast. Let us know any questions you may have about jazz.
Yeah.
And we would be happy to engage the community to answer.
And if you like jazz and you like this podcast, why not leave us a rating and review?
Man, we haven't plugged for that lately.
I know. We get ratings and reviews
What
on the
about
radio.
share it with your friends?
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your enemies.
Yeah,
Share it with your frenemies.
I had lunch with a friend who, an old friend, Tim, who plays guitar, and he's in South Carolina. He was coming through town for one reason or the other. And he was on a gig with like this guy he didn't really know that well. And he was like, you should check out this podcast called You'll Hear It.
Yeah.
And Tim was like, that's my boy.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So we got a little word of mouth is what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
So subscribe to us here or wherever you're consuming this so that you'll know what's happening. I like they always say, click the bell for notifications. I don't know what that
Put
does.
the bell on.
Put
Yeah,
the
that
bell
means that anytime we release anything on YouTube, they get a notification.
Ooh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Click the bell.
You're gonna
Smash
get
that bell button.
Smash that bell. You're going to get some quality content there. Yeah.
Well, good. Till tomorrow.
You'll hear it.